Blessings and welcome to today's Law Enforcement Daily Devotional. Today's read was out of Genesis chapter 18 and 19, and our law enforcement takeaway was chapter 18, verse 19. And it says, "For I have chosen him so that he may command his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing righteousness and justice, so that the Lord may bring upon Abraham what he has spoken about him." I think this is a great verse for law enforcement officers because there's a lot of similarities here between what God's saying to Abraham and what God says to us. Now, we know we're New Testament Christians. We've been saved by Jesus Christ and his free gift of salvation. That by doing righteousness and justice is not going to get us into heaven. But once we are called, once we have accepted Christ, God has created works for us to do. He's created a path for us, and we've talked about it in the last couple of devotionals. So today we're going to kind of build on that. God has created this path for us. He's put us in law enforcement. It's no coincidence that you're here and you're in this job. So let's look at this. Abraham, it says he was chosen. Well, in law enforcement, we believe we're chosen. We are being called into this job and this profession. So we were chosen to do this job. But why were we chosen, and why was Abraham chosen? I think we were all chosen for the exact same reason, and God spells it out: to keep the way of the Lord by doing righteousness and justice. Now, righteousness and justice are very important to God. And because they're important to God, they should be important to us. But because they're so important to God, he has created this system of criminal justice in this country and in similar systems across the world for us to serve him. Because remember, justice belongs to God only. We didn't create justice. We didn't come up with justice. Justice wasn't something that we thought of that we needed to provide for people. Justice comes from God, and when we do our jobs in the pursuit of justice, we do it in the pursuit of his ultimate plan, not in ours, not in our government's, but justice comes from God. And we can see this when we look at Psalm 89, verse 14. This verse and the next verse I'm going to tell you are very important. God has a throne, and on this throne, there are two foundations that the throne sits on. Righteousness and justice are the foundation of your throne. Loving kindness and truth go before you. And then in Psalm 97:2 it says, clouds and thick darkness surround him. Righteousness and justice are the foundations of his throne. So it's no mistake that God tells Abraham right here, by keeping the way of the Lord and doing righteousness and justice, these are callings that God has on our lives. These are the things that he has set before us, the plans that he's given us, the job that he's given us. So we should carry out these plans, not because it's going to earn us salvation, but because that's what God's called us to. These are the things that are important to him. So let's do our jobs well. You can hear my dog Griffin. He agrees. And be blessed, stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.